All right, let's look at your question here. So I would say yes. And I just noticed this. What's that note? That's not the fifth interval. That's what it should be. Um, anyway, so what I'd actually do on this is instead of, I mean, this way is fine. I mean, that's like a common way I'm looking at that type of progression. However, for something like this, I like to look at it this way. This actually covers less distance versus this. So what do I mean here? Looks like going like 8 to 12 there. So I'm looking at it like, you add in 4 here. 8 plus 4, you get 12. This way, it's just 7 to 10. So there's one less fret distance. It's tiny, but that's how I'm looking at this progression. So I usually would write it out this way. I'm sorry, I forget what the heck it was. Yeah, C, G, A, F are the roots. Okay. Oh yeah. There we go. Goodness. So that's kind of how I'm looking at that one, but this way also fine. Yeah, I'd rather do that than skip a string. Part of the equation here is how efficient could you do the string skip versus how it is now. I think this way is much easier than doing a string skip, so that's why I would avoid that. Then yeah, that's how I would do this one too. So overall, very good. So yeah, I mean, some things like when you're making your own stuff, personal preference is going to play a big role in it. Okay, so I want to troubleshoot possibly a thing that's happening. I'm not quite sure if it is. Most of the pull-offs, like with the middle finger or ring finger, looked like it was happening exactly how I want you to do it, or how it should be done, where you're hooking the finger off and plucking the string as you're playing. Pinky, a lot of times it looks like it just kind of went away. Sometimes it looks like it hooked, but it almost maybe like sometimes you would like actually hook off the string, but as soon as you get off the string, your pinky goes out and away versus down and in. But it didn't always do it. So that's what we're doing here. I gotta explain what this is. So the 15th fret, that's where I want you to put your pinky. You're not actually going to play the 15th fret. So basically like a ghost note, which is there. Rhythmically, there's really nothing rhythmic that you got to do. No need to do metronome stuff either. I just want you to focus on getting really good pinky pull-offs. That's why it says no distortion. Because with distortion on, you can get away with just letting go of a string, and the compression in distortion will make the string continue to vibrate at a decent level. Well, that's not really right. The string doesn't vibrate at a different level because of the compression. The compression will, take the quiet sounds and boost it up. So if you take the distortion off, well, if you are doing a pull-off wrong, it's going to be exposed. So with the right hand, just gently hold the strings here. Don't really mash it and get noise. Just barely hold it because you're going to be muting them. So all I want you to do is up and down these, or down and up, I should say. I'm used to saying up and down first, but we're going to go down and then up the strings. So you basically just get your fingers in place. And just do that. Be gentle. You don't, when you go from string to string, you're not trying to do a hammer on. You're not trying to hear any of the 15th fret notes. You're only trying to hear the 12. So get both fingers down. Pluck the string with your pinky. Pluck the string with your pinky, which is what the pull-off is. You're plucking the string with the pinky. Make sure you do not use the wrist at all. And since you got 7 strings, have at it with the low B string as well. So just do that a few times. Just make sure that you hear everything well and that you're plucking the string with the pinky to perform the pull off correctly. Alright, so the next few things, just doing more rhythmic legato stuff. Just needing it at 60 and 160 for the video. You're welcome to do other speeds if it helps you do that. But so you can edit less, just do 60 and 160, that's fine. I'll be doing 60, 120, and 160 here for demo purposes. I'll switch back to, well, you know what? Let's have you practice all the legato this week, at least 50% of the time, no distortion. Really make sure these legato techniques are coming across well. So yeah, at least half the time. Let's have you do it clean this week. Alright, so you're picking only the first note of each bar here. Same rhythm each bar. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's very wrong. What the heck? Wow. What am I reading? Apparently not what's on the screen. Good Lord. 1, 2, 3, 4. I just realized I goofed something up. That needs to be the slide. That needs to be that. Sorry about that. This is turning out to be quite the messy video, isn't it? Goodness. Hopefully I remember to warn you about my goofs. Now it's right. Right? Yeah. Yeah, so well, with that fourth bar, after you slide up, make sure that the ring, or not the ring, where the index and the pinky stay down. Just get that ring finger out of there, so this way you can pull off from the 10 to the 7 on those last 2 notes there. Alright, I think I'm ready now. Let's find out. 60 beats a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the clean stuff is definitely going to be tough to maintain volume while playing at the slow speed, so you might want to turn the amp up just a little bit higher than normal, especially for the slow speeds, because that's just kind of an inevitability. Even if you're doing it 100% right, and that's our goal, always 100% right, the volume is going to fade a bit. Without compression, the volume is just going to fade. Alright, 120, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's really the slides where the volume is going to have a very tough time staying up. 160, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have my bridge pickup on. I find that the higher treble sound makes it easier to hear this stuff. So might be something to try if you notice that playing on the neck pickup, things aren't coming out so well. Usually for clean, I'll play on the neck pickup because it just sounds nicer. But for this case, it makes more sense to use the bridge pickup, I feel. Alright, this one, I'm going to review this one before I start bumbling this thing up too. Alright, so you have to be like adjusting your hand a bit on this. Like after you slide up there, you're going to have to adjust the hand to spread back out. And then another hand adjustment here. And then another hand adjustment there, so it keeps spreading the fingers apart. Alright, 60. 1, 2, 3, 4. And even though you could technically use 4 fingers for this, like doing like that kind of thing, I want you to use the pinky as much as you can to reinforce the motion you want to make with this. 120, 1, 2, 3, 4. $160. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoopsie. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that was right. Okay. Back down to 60. And starting on the upbeat. So let this note ring out across the downbeat of 1 for the repeat. And a bit more sliding again. 60 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. $120. 1, 2, 3, 4. $160. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my god, I can't believe I did that. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Jeez Louise. Alright, there you go. Alright, theory work. I want to do like some review stuff before moving on to new chord things. I'm going to have you write things out in 2 different keys. So you got like basic open chord stuff for some bars, like a bar chord we've done. This one's not an open chord or a bar chord. It's just a chord. No open strings or anything. Anyway, so add this now. Actually, I'm just going to do it this way too. I want you to do the key of G and then the key of F. So key of G, and if I don't put in a rest symbol, that will disappear. It disappeared even with the rest symbol. Okay. Oh, right. I have this marked as a 7/4. This way you can just do all quarter notes throughout there. There. Boom, boom. Okay. And here we go. Key of F. So things to establish: what notes make the key of G? What notes make the key of F? This is important. So you might want to write that down so you can reference it. So basically, just play a G major scale, write out the 7 notes that you get. I'll give you a hint. Right here, this is saying you have 1 sharp. That's what a key signature is. When you see things like this at the beginning of a piece of music, that's your key signature. This is saying you have the key that has 1 sharp. This is actually on the note that's sharp. And this is on the 1 note that's flat in the key. Well, let's see if you can figure it out. I know you can. So remember, yeah, just play the. You can just play the scale and write out the notes there. So it will not be the same notes here. It cannot be. You're not going to go G, A, B, C, D, E, F for the key of G, because that's just the same set of notes, just starting on G. So something's going to be sharp, and then something in the key of F will be flat. So basically, take these chords, or take like open chords. Sometimes you'll need bar chords, and write them out for the key of G, and then write them out for the key of F. Actually, let me make this a little bit easier for you. I'm going to change all of these to quarter note rests. So this way, you can just go one to the next, and you don't have to change any of the rhythmic value. There. Okay. So then after that, this is just to remind you of. I'm going to change the key again. Back to C here. Okay. This is just to remind you of what these things were. So I didn't write them out on all the different string sets. You don't need to do this for the key of C, but I want you to do this for the key of G and the key of F. So there's a lot of repetitive stuff here, you could say, but this constant repetition is going to really help you remember these things. Remember, so using the Roman numerals too, add the Roman numerals up here to continue reinforcing what happens in each position. Same thing when writing out just these basic 3-note triads. Put the Roman numerals in too. When you come across a chord, they can be written in the high octave and open position. Write both. And yeah, this is when you have multiple key signatures going on in one piece of music. Like, so instead of this saying, like this is basically saying the note that was here, this flat note is now a natural note, so it's gone back to the key of C here. So that's what this symbol is. It's a natural sign. It's used in music to show when a sharp or a flat has become natural again. So that's why that's there. So yeah, when you get to the key, you start here at the key of G. I'll put this in. And let's see, I want you to see what the heck I'm doing here. Let me see. So right here, click on that. Make sure I'm in the right spot over here. There we go. Okay. So you click on these sharp signs. That's your key signature. And then change it to G here. It's even like G, it shows you right there, it has 1 sharp. So starting on the E, A, D, and G string. I want you to write out those triad shapes that you learned and played in the key of C. But now you're going to do it for the key of G. And then, yes, do it all through, starting on the E string, then do it all for the A string, the D string, and then the G string. And then do the same thing for the key of F. Remember to put in not time signature, key signature. Put in the key signature when you change over to the key of F. And the next time we'll do suspended chords as well. If you just blaze through this in like a day, you want to start the suspended second and suspended fourth for these other keys, then have at it. But if you want to like pace yourself, just want you to try and get through all the triad stuff best you can. And yeah, if you got any questions, send them over. I think that covers it all. Well, happy birthday, sir. Hope you had a good celebration. And yeah, see you next week.